Rob, we know how leaky this dressing room is as well. That has certainly been evident over the last couple of seasons, and already suggestions that some of the players aren't happy with Ten Hag's tactics because it's not suiting their skill set. You can't make this up.
No, I mean, it does seem it's one thing after another, and it's a soap opera. It's not a football club anymore. That may sound silly to say, but I mean, you'll be on this show for the next days and weeks talking about Man United because they're a circus at the moment, and this is just another example. The stories from the dressing room, they happen because the team aren't winning games. If this season had started with a couple of wins or even a couple of positive performances, the players would be happier. There would be a bit of momentum, but there's not. There's absolutely nothing. All the positivity from the summer tour of Thailand and Australia has been washed away into disastrous results, particularly at Brentford. The manner of that collapse has caused minor panic around Old Trafford about the state of the football club. And there have been questions about Ten Hag already. There are questions about why he persists with playing David de Gea in goal, even though he wants to build from the back, and David de Gea doesn't seem to be able to pass the ball out from the back. Why he picked Christian Eriksen as a false nine against Brighton when he'd never done that job before. Why he was so quick to reinstall Harry Maguire as captain when there was obviously an issue around Maguire's captaincy last season. So, all these things are bubbling away in the background. And when a team isn't winning games, these stories tend to find their way into the media. The only way to stop it, the only way to solve it is by winning games. And unfortunately, for Man United at the moment, there are fans there that can't see where the next win is coming from. They can't even see where the next goal is coming from. It's that bad at the moment.
What do you do, Stevie? Ten Hag is going, I'm going back to our Hags.
The only thing I can think of is you have to look at what you have in terms of the players that you have.
Right.
And decide not how you want to play, but how do we get a result? If it means you stick 10 on the goal line and stop every shot, then you do it.
Right.
You have to figure out how you get a result. And if it means that the goalkeeper's kicking it 60 yards and you're fighting for it, then that's what you do.
Right.
And Ten Hag is going to have to be brave, because if that's the only option he has in order to get a result, he better be brave enough to do it. All this nonsense about sticking to your principles is complete and utter garbage.
Right.
If you're losing football games, game after game after game. Nobody wants to hear it. All this nonsense about, well, I don't mind if we lose a goal, pass it out the back, because I've given the players responsibility. Shut up. I don't want to hear that nonsense. If it happens once, then OK, we'll give you that. But when you know it's going to happen time after time, and it's happening time after time, you stop doing it and you start doing things where you're going to be in a game, where you're going to be competitive, where you might have to start off getting a draw before you get the win. Right. And then you start building something, and you start putting a team together that may not have the best players, may not look great on the eye, but it's getting results. So Ten Hag has to be brave here. Do what you have to do to get the result, not how we play the game and all this snobby nonsense.
To your point, Stevie, then why are you asking David de Gea to be playing out of the back and to be good with his feet when he has never been comfortable with the ball at his feet? So know what you have. You have players in front of you. Know what you have and use them. Yes, with your philosophy, but be flexible enough to where, hey, this guy doesn't do that job well. That guy doesn't do that job well. How about we then adapt to what we have available? And then once you gain confidence, once you've put together a couple of results, then you can start getting fancy. But until then, now you're going to get creative? No chance.
I have to say, I'm a little worried that Ten Hag won't do that.
Right.
Because this is the same guy who played Martinez at centre-back against two players at Brentford who can't wait to get smashing into centre-backs.
Yeah.
And he played Eriksen and Bruno Fernandes in the middle of the park against a team that gets in your face and tries to physically do you. That's a worry.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.